What is going on, guys? The Negro Shot here, and today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the DC Cinematic Universe. I'll probably give you guys my thoughts on Batman versus Superman in a separate video, but I kind of want to talk to you guys about what I think DC probably should have done with their cinematic universe, since I think it's pretty much a given. I think everyone knows by now that DC was pretty much playing catch up. Like they were like really rushing to get where Marvel is at because they want that Marvel money. They want the type of money that Marvel is bringing in. And even though Batman versus Superman has gotten panned by the critics and everything, it's still making a killing. It's still making a lot of money. So I kind of feel as though, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys feel the same way, that DC, they probably should have uh, did like what Marvel did, which is like set up the universe by basically having a separate movie for each character first, and then do the Justice League. But of course, we all know that that didn't happen, and of course, DC, the way that they're rushing it and stuff, they didn't decide to do it that way, which a lot of people thought was kind of stupid. But I think if they were going to do it this way, I think that their slate should have been a lot different. I think what I would have done was, since they were doing a Batman versus Superman, I would say that like the first movie after Man of Steel should have been World's Finest. It shouldn't have been like a Batman versus Superman type of thing. It probably should have been Batman and Superman working together. Maybe they fight at first, which is what they did in the movie, and then come together. But I wouldn't necessarily market it as Batman fighting Superman, because really like the Batman versus Superman movie, it wasn't really necessarily all about that. It was more sort of like a setup for Justice League, and there was like all these different other plot points in it. But really, like the Batman versus Superman fight, that didn't happen until like the latter half of the film. But anyway, what I would have done, like I said, World's Finest, that would have been the first movie. And then after you do World's Finest and you establish Batman and Superman and everything, then you can go ahead and do a Wonder Woman Aquaman movie. And again, these characters, they don't have to be fighting. They could butt heads at first or whatever. But I think it would have been cool for DC to sort of take almost the same approach as Marvel, but doing it in their own way, so that they wouldn't have to do a bunch of different movies. Since they are trying to play catch up, or they would be trying to play catch up, wouldn't it have made a lot more sense for them, if they're gonna do it, if they really want to, rush to the Justice League? I think personally it would have made sense to sort of establish two characters per film. So like we have Batman versus Superman, or in my case, I would say World's Finest, and then you would have Aquaman and Wonder Woman, and that movie could be about like the Amazons and the Atlanteans. There could be like a conflict there, and then after that movie, you would have like Cyborg and the Flash in one movie, in which it's kind of funny because I've had this idea rolling around in my head for like the past few days of how DC should have or could have done their cinematic slate for their movies. And it's crazy because I believe there was like a article or something that came out that basically Cyborg is gonna be in the Flash movie, and I think those two characters would really play well together, and their concepts of their powers and what they can do are very similar, and it would just make for a very interesting movie, I think. And so after that Cyborg and Flash movie, I think what would be cool is if they were to have done a Shazam and Superman movie, in which it could be like a sequel to Man of Steel 2. Well, even though technically the World Finest movie, the theoretical movie that I would pitch, or I would say, I would think that that movie would kind of be the sequel to Man of Steel, but I think it would be interesting for. I think it would have been interesting for them to do this, simply because Shazam is more of a light-hearted character, and in DC's universe, we all know Superman. A lot of people say that he's a darker Superman. He's brooding. He's not happy. He doesn't smile. So it kind of would be. I think it would be interesting to see a movie where like I don't know, the world accepts Shazam, but they don't accept Superman or something like that. So I think that would be kind of an interesting concept. And then the last sort of movie I think I would personally love to see or whatever would be something like maybe Green Lantern and maybe another superhero. But I think that's the way that DC could have done this. They could have easily gotten to the Justice League in like four movies, set up all these characters, and then have Batman show up in each of those films to be the glue that sticks, that sort of ties everything together, or connects everything together. Or you could have Superman, you could have whatever character you want tying those things together, sort of like how Marvel had Nick Fury. But I just think that they're just, again, they've rushed things, and it really shows in the Batman versus Superman movie, because spoilers for any of you guys who haven't seen the movie. uh, there's like a scene in the movie where basically there's like clips of Cyborg and Flash and everything. It just feels lazy, and it felt so weird, especially the first time watching it. So I've seen Batman vs Superman twice. Like the first time I watched it, I was like, "What the heck?" It's like almost like watching like a mini promo for the Justice League movies, and it's like it's crazy because like Lex Luthor, he had like the logos for like all of the Justice League on the computer that like Diana was accessing. It was just weird, and the way they did it was just it was so dumb. It's like if you want to really build your universe out, uh, quickly, like the approach that I'm suggesting in this video, where they just like do two characters for movie, like introduce two characters per movie, I think that would have worked. Something like that probably would have benefited them, because think of it this way. Like I said earlier, they could have done like a Wonder Woman and Aquaman movie. They could introduce the Amazon, so they can introduce the Atlanteans. They can introduce all these different worlds and all these different concepts quickly within all these movies. Now you have Batman versus Superman trying to tie, we're trying to introduce all of the Justice League, or at least uh, all the characters so far. We still don't have Green Lantern and Shazam and everything, but you have Batman versus Superman trying to get these characters introduced. And then also, there's again, like I said earlier, there's a million different plots. You got Lex making Doomsday, and Lex trying to pit Batman against Superman, and it just makes for a very, very crowded movie. And like I said earlier, I'm probably gonna give you guys my full thoughts on Batman versus Superman soon. But I just really think that DC probably should have slowed down. At first, when people were really saying that DC was like trying to hurry things up, I was kind of, I didn't want to listen to everyone about it. But now I see I was kind of wrong. I was really wrong. They are rushing things, and I was hoping that they had a plan in mind. And it's not that they probably don't have. I'm sure. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt and say that they have like a roadmap, sort of like how Marvel, I'm pretty sure, has, or like they know where their movies are going and everything. But it's like the Justice League movie actually started filming, I think, like this week or next week. Zack Snyder is going back to direct the movie, and so I just really don't know how the public is going to take to all these new superheroes being introduced in one film, when the way like the Avengers, they introduced Hawkeye, and really Scarlett Johansson's character, they gave her some more to do. And it's like, how do you introduce all these characters and get them proper screen time and everything? I don't know. It's just a weird sort of thing to try to accomplish in just one film. I'm not saying that it's impossible. Obviously, it's not impossible. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of directors that can, try to accomplish that can accomplish that, introducing all these different characters and giving them the proper screen time. Obviously, Josh Whedon has done this before with Marvel, but that's with just a few characters. We're talking about half of the Justice League that hasn't really been introduced yet. So it's just kind of it's probably going to be a very big uh, monumental task for Snyder and everyone involved to sort of pull off. So I'm just curious to see how this Justice League movie does and what DC does if that movie fails. But we'll have to see. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think DC should have done. I'm pretty sure some of you guys are gonna give the vanilla answer of just do what Marvel. They should have done what Marvel did and like set up each movie. Pretty much just set up each movie for each character. Do a Batman movie, do a Wonder Woman movie, Aquaman movie, etc. But I think my idea probably would have been kind of cool to see if they would have done a movie with like each of these characters working together and their two worlds just colliding. So let me know what you guys think about that. Subscribe for more talk about DC and Marvel and stuff because I'm probably gonna be doing more videos about that, especially if I can, especially if you guys start responding a lot better to that. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. This has been the Negro Shotty. I'm out of here. Peace.